Good morning. Good morning, crew, and welcome back to my channel, unless of course you guys are new around here, in which case, hi, hello, my name is Ashley, but they call me Atru. Welcome to the vlog. So, I'm just gonna get right to it. Your girl has tested positive for COVID. Yeah, let that sink in. And it's not a fun time. I'm gonna get into the story of like how I found out and why I got tested and all that stuff a little later in the vlog, but I thought I would just do a day in my life stuck in quarantine with killer COVID, because I really can't do anything else. Yeah, this is where we're at. It is about 9:30. I got up about an hour ago, and this is my life right now. I am just sitting here watching like Disney movies on Disney Plus. Today we're watching Xenon because I thought that would be a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I watched them, but the first one is my least favorite. I'm excited to watch 3. I haven't watched 3 in years. On the agenda today, I want to shower. I want to make a Target order to pick up tomorrow. I might want to clean my sheets and pillowcases because, like, I don't know. I just feel like they're covered in COVID and I'm never going to get better if I'm just constantly breathing that in. I have no clue if that's true or not, but that's just how I feel. I just feel like they need a good wash. But I also have zero energy, so literally the shower might take it all out of me. So we're just gonna play that by ear. And then I'll need to eat at some point. Yeah, that's honestly about all I have on the day's agenda. Yay. Okay, everyone, I took a shower, if you couldn't tell, and I feel a lot less gross. I definitely think I'm like on the mend. I've officially been sick for a week now. I started to feel sick after my session last Tuesday. I had like a really bad fever, and then just immediately started taking like NyQuil and Dayquil. And that luckily broke my fever, and I haven't had one since then. I know I told you guys that I will tell you the story of like how and why I got tested later in the vlog, but it's still gonna have to be later because even though this is how I know I'm like on the mend, like I took a shower I think on Thursday and it took like everything out of me. I mean, I immediately had to like lay down just because I had such little energy, and this was before I even knew that I had the Rona. And so this time I was able to like shower, like brush my hair, brush my teeth, get dressed, and I've been sitting up for a little. I just laid down right this second when I turned the camera on because it's easier to hold the camera this way. But yeah, I was able to do all of that, and like I didn't feel faint at all. I mostly just feel hungry, but my mom just went to the store to get me some food. I definitely, even though I think I'm on the mend, like my cough was so horrific yesterday and the day before, well, just all the days. And it really hasn't been too bad today, luckily. And it doesn't sound as bad. Like, obviously you can still hear it, like I am still sick, but it's just not as bad. Currently watching Xenon 2 and just waiting to eat. So we still have like the little to-do list that I listed. I don't know if I'll be able to do my sheets just because that might be a little more energy than I currently have. But I don't know. It's literally only like 11. So we'll see if I get more energy throughout the day after I've rested again for a while. But yeah, still want to look up some vitamins to get from Target tomorrow. I want to do Target because they're so good about their curbside pickup versus the grocery store that's near me. The grocery store near me just isn't good. So yeah, just want to do a pickup order. That way I don't go in and see anyone and they'll just put it in my trunk and no interaction necessary. Just wanted to give you a little update, really. I'm not doing anything. I was saying, even though I can tell I'm on the mend, I still plan on doing nothing today and tomorrow. Like, showering and getting my Target pickup order is like all that's on my agenda. And honestly, I'm even debating doing Amazon instead. That way it'll just come to my door tomorrow. Ew, I sound so gross. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Good morning. It is the next day. I literally got no footage yesterday. So I don't even remember what the last thing I said to you guys was, but I do know that I ended up having to take like 3 work calls for stuff that's going on. One was from like a family, one was from my supervisor, and one was from like one of like the higher ups. And so I had to take 3 different phone calls and they were all long. And even though I got to sit while doing them, I don't know, they took a lot out of me. And then my mom was bugging me about stuff, like about the move that we're gonna do, and there's so much to do before we even move and so many decisions that need to be made, and I don't know. She wants to be out by like the end of the year, and I just don't know if that's enough time. So just was a little stressed yesterday. I literally watched 8 Disney Channel movies. I watched the 3 Xenons, and then I watched Horse Sense and Jumping Ship, which are the ones with the Lawrence brothers, which I love those movies. And then I watched all 3 of the Cheetah Girls. So that was fun. But yeah, I literally didn't do anything. I obviously couldn't like vlog my work calls or anything because, you know, like client dignity and all that. I can't like say their names. And I just didn't even think to like pick up the camera. I'm sorry that these vlogs are so boring. Like, this is gonna be the 3rd boring one in a row. But I also didn't end up doing my sheets because I simply did not have the energy. I could do that today. Like, that could be my one big thing. Yesterday my one big thing was taking a shower, which I did do. I think you guys saw. So that was good. And it didn't take as much out of me as it did the first time I took a shower since I've had the Rona. Oh, that's what I still have to do. I still have to tell you guys the story. Okay. We'll have a little bit of content today then. But I did just wake up, so I'm going to wait just a little bit until I can set up the camera. Just kind of wake up a little bit. But, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you watch the last 2 videos, I definitely sound better. I don't sound all better, but I feel like I'm improving. I feel like I sound like I'm improving. I hope that's how it's coming across. But I really have just been trying to stay in bed and rest because that's apparently like the only thing you can do when you have the Rona. So, yeah. It sucks. It's not a fun time, but I will check in with you a little later and tell you the story. Hey. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys this story, like while I was doing something so it would be less boring, but I don't have anything to do. And I knew it would be really hard to tell you while I was sitting in my bed and trying to hold the camera, so I'm standing up to do it, and then we'll move back to my bed. But basically, I wanted to tell you guys the story of like why I got tested and how I found out I had the Rona and all that jazz. So, like I said, if you've watched the last 2 videos I posted, you'll know I've been sick for 8 days. I got sick last Tuesday after my session is when I started to not feel good, and I had a really, really bad high fever. It was like 102, 103, somewhere around there. It was like my skin sizzled to the touch. I was burning up. It was so dangerous now, like, that I think back. Like, we probably should have done something about it. But I just went to the store and got, like, some NyQuil and Dayquil. Took it. My fever broke, you know, a few hours later, maybe like 4 or 5 hours later. And I thought that was going to be, like, the hardest part of it, you know? Then I started to kind of, you know, develop the stuffy nose and the cough. And the weirdest part that, like, that was different than a normal cold or flu for me was I had this, I don't know if you could call it like a headache, but my eyes felt like they had such pressure on them, like I was pushing on them, but something was pushing down on them. For like the first 2-3 days I had that, and it was like, it was hard to open my eyes. Someone thought it was like a migraine, but I didn't seem to fit all of the criteria for a migraine. Like, light didn't seem to make it worse. Noise didn't seem to make it worse. It was just like when my eyes were open, but specifically like if I had them open and was looking just ahead of me, it seemed to be okay. It was like whenever I tried to look up or like put my head up, it's still I can still feel it, honestly, but it's like 50 million times less worse than it was. But I don't know, just this pressure. So that was different than a normal cold. And so I thought it was just like a really bad sinus infection. And so I think I got sick Tuesday. Wednesday, my mom called the doctor, got me some antibiotics, because obviously, like, if it's an infection, you know, NyQuil and Dayquil really, like, aren't going to do much for it. The NyQuil and Dayquil, like, helped with my nose, and it helped my cough. Like, it would suppress my cough for a little bit, but, like, it wasn't getting rid of it, if that makes sense. So that was one thing. And then so by Wednesday, Thursday-ish, I was taking both antibiotics and NyQuil and Dayquil. Thursday and Friday were really hard days because my mom had cataract surgery. Obviously, like, cataract surgery is on your eyes, and so I had no choice but to drive her. Like, you guys know, it's just my mom and I. So I had to drive her to the surgery on Thursday and pick her up when she was done, like 2.5 hours later. And then Friday, I had to take her for her follow-up so the doctor could check her eye and make sure it was healing properly. Like, there isn't anyone else to do that. So I did it, but the only reason I'm even mentioning it is because I really didn't get to rest those 2 days, or at least, like, fully, especially Thursday, because even after, like, the surgery, my mom couldn't see, so I still had to do a lot for her. Friday was a little better when she's able to take the stuff off her eye and, like, her glasses off, so she was a little more independent. So I did get to rest a little bit on Friday, but basically Friday came and went, Saturday came and went. You know, I've been on 3 medications for 5 days by the time Sunday hit, and, like, I'm just not getting better. Like, nothing is improving. The only thing that went away was my fever. And so it was just like, why am I not getting better? Why is nothing being taken care of? Like, I'm on a medication for my infection. I'm on medication for my other symptoms. What's the dealio here? And so that's when I kind of started to think, like, okay, well, maybe I have the Rona, because I, like, looked up symptoms online, and, you know, the weak and tiredness thing I had times a million. But at first I thought it was just because I hadn't been able to properly rest since I got sick, because, you know, Tuesday night, you know, I slept really well because of the fever, and then I did rest on Wednesday, but then Thursday, Friday, I was like, go, 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 because of my mom's surgery. So I kind of thought that was why I was so tired and weak at the time. And then it said, you know, headaches is one of the things, and I was like, well, I don't necessarily have a headache, but I do have that pain and pressure, so that could be it. And then I think it was Saturday night that I was like, well, I think I still have my taste and smell. Like, I really wasn't eating a ton, because whenever I ate, it gave me, like, a really, really, really bad coughing attack. And so I was kind of avoiding it because it would just be so painful and such a hassle to cough for like 20 minutes after eating something that it just made me not want to eat. So I wasn't eating a ton, so it was hard for me to tell if I still had my taste and smell. And I was like, well, if I don't have my smell, like, it's just because my nose is stuffed up, right? But I think it was Saturday night, Friday or Saturday night, that I ate like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I was like, I think this should be more flavorful. Like, I think the peanut butter should have a stronger flavor as well as the jelly. And that's when I kind of was like, okay, that could, and again, I mean, your taste buds kind of change even when you're just sick in general. And so because I still could taste part of it, that was still up in the air. I was like, okay, is it the Rona? Is it not the Rona? But basically, by the time Sunday came and went, and I was still not like any better, I wasn't improving, I still had this horrible cough, I still had a stuffy nose, my eyes still hurt. They definitely lessened, but like I said, I can still feel it. And the only thing that had improved was my fever. I have not had a fever since that night. Praise God. But so anyway, we decided to go get me a test because the pharmacy said we could do it there. And so we go, I put the little thing up my nose. I made it 29 months without sticking that dang thing up my nose. At least I did it for a purpose. I'm almost happy that it came out positive, just because I would have hated to stick that thing up my nose for no reason. Although it was not as bad as I thought. Like, it was nowhere near what I thought it was going to be. But so anyway, I do the test, and literally the pharmacist almost sent me home because she thought I was negative. So she was like, it takes about 15 minutes, but usually it's like instantaneous. And so like what happens is, like, the little test, she's like, if it's 1 line, it's negative. If it's 2 lines, it's positive. And so the whole thing just starts to like fill up with this kind of color, I guess. And I was like, well, I don't see any lines. And she's like, oh, it'll come. And so like a minute later, the first line comes. And she was like, okay, yeah, I think it's negative, because like, even though it says 15 minutes, like, it's usually instantaneous. Like, you can tell right away. And I was looking at it and I was like, you don't think that's like a faint line like coming in? And she was like, no, I don't think so. And so we're sitting there talking, because my mom's like, okay, well, like, what else could it be? You know, because like, she's on all these medications and she's not getting better. So like, if it's not the Rona, then like, what is it? And so they're sitting there like discussing things, and I'm just looking like at this test, and I'm just like, that looks like a faint line to me. Like, it looks like it's gonna come. And so I don't know, like a few more minutes go by, like 2 or 3, and I ask her again, I'm like, you sure like that doesn't look like a line that's forming? And then she looks at it and she's like, oh, well, maybe. And she's like, okay, yeah, maybe you should wait the 15 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait okay, yeah, I'll wait the 15 minutes. And so like another 7 minutes go by, and then she brings me the test, because we like went outside to wait, and we were in like this little room. And she brings it over to me and she's like, okay, yeah, like, it's really positive. And so, your girl's got the Rona. That was how I found out. But can you imagine if I had just taken her word and was just like, okay, yeah, it's negative, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, ma'am. But the good thing about testing positive was that we knew what it was and why the medicine wasn't working. And she told me, she was like, you don't even have to keep taking it if you don't want to. She's like, you started the antibiotic, so like, you're more than welcome to finish it out, but like, it's not gonna do anything. So I stopped taking that, and she was like, you can take NyQuil and Dayquil, like, if your symptoms get really bad, but again, like, there's no cure for the Rona. Like, there's nothing you can do but wait it out. And so I just didn't have like any options. So that was kind of the bummer about like it being the Rona, is that there's just no cure. There's not some pill that they can give me. There's nothing they can, like, you just have to wait it out. And so then of course I had to call my families and my bosses and be like, your girl tested positive, like, I got the Rona. So yeah. I will say, since Sunday, I feel like I've improved a lot. Like, what's today, Wednesday? Like, Monday was still kind of bad, But yesterday was the first day that I really started to feel like I was turning a corner and getting a little better. And then today I still feel good. I was really excited because Monday, like all the times that I ate, I didn't have any coughing attacks. But yesterday I had one after eating, so we'll see. It seems to be just really like touch and go. Like for instance, I've been standing here 10 minutes and I feel like I need to sit down now. Like this is a lot. So, but that's the whole story of why I got tested and how I found out I was positive. So I will be back on the bed in a minute. I hate to say this because I know that this video has just been awful, but I just literally don't have the energy to do anything besides lay in this bed. So, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, especially with how sucky these have been. I hope you'll hang in there with me. Hopefully I will get better soon. If you guys like this video, pretty please give it a thumbs up. It really supports me and my channel. And if you guys liked me, pretty please hit that subscribe button. It would make my day, honestly. I put out new videos every Sunday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And yeah, I think that's everything. So, okay, love you, bye.